Well, he's a good player. He has played multiple roles and played well when he's played. Physical guy. We think he can come in and get ready quickly to make a contribution. He's got size we like. He's an excellent blocker, high-effort player, detailed professional wideout, and he's going to give us some versatility and depth, which we need.
In your construction of practice squad, obviously that's a 10-man group from which you'll probably add maybe multiple guys over the course of the season. How do you balance putting a guy in there who has a really high ceiling but maybe won't be able to be called upon for the 53 at any point this season with a guy who maybe is a little more NFL ready but maybe doesn't have that sort of potential?
Well, selfishly, we try to keep as many guys on the practice squad that were with us as possible so we can continue the developmental process. We still think we've got some really good young players that we work with all summer and spring that can help us down the road, and they know our system. And we also looked at who was available, who we thought we had a chance at getting. So there's a fine line there, but we do think all members of our practice squad have a chance to eventually help us at some point this year.
How good do you feel about Nugent being your place?
I feel good. He's kicked the ball well since he's been here. He's had a little bit of experience kicking off not only our dirt, but all kind of surfaces in this league. He's done it for a long time. I don't think he's going to be nervous and rattled. He gives us some mental stability and confidence at a position, I think, that it's critical.
What was the start of your relationship with Sean McVay?
We don't have a lot of time here today, but we go way back. You know, my dad worked for his grandfather, John McVay, University of Dayton, 1970. So we go all the way back, Gruden's and McVay's. John McVay helped my dad. I try to help any McVay I can. They've helped us throughout the years. We're a really close family. And got Sean out of Miami of Florida, Miami of Ohio, I should say. And kind of in a secretarial role to get him in the building. Next thing I know, he's out there helping Joey Galloway and our receivers play better. He's a great young coach and a really great friend. Can't wait to play against him.
What's it been like for you just to see him rise in this league and obviously the team that he has, the job that he's done down there in L.A.?
We got to try to slow down that rise. We got to try to douse the flames. He's smoking right now. It's been exciting, man. Anytime you see a young guy come into a profession and do what he's done, it's awesome. He's turned around a franchise that's really important to the NFL, and I'm really happy for him.
What kind of challenges does it pose with the Rams' defensive front with Sue right next to Donald?
That's a big challenge, no question. And they've got some young guys that we need to learn about on the outside. Robert Quinn is not there. Connor Barwin's not there. They got a new inside backer. Ogletree's not there. They've got two new corners that are also there. That's why you can't really watch last year's tape to help you get ready for this game. And they didn't play them in the preseason, more than half a dozen plays. So we'll see we're going to see where they are, and we'll see where we are.
John, how quick a study has AJ been since he got here in your offense?
Yeah, he's been quick. Yeah. It'll be a challenge, obviously, if he has to go in and play. But it's a challenge for any backup quarterback to go in and play. But I like McCarron. I think a lot of people in the league like McCarron. That's pretty obvious. And he's got a big upside. We'll try to get him ready if need be.
John, maybe your best defense against this team is keeping the offense on the field. How do you sustain those drives against?
Hard to do. The easy thing is let's go out and let's have a pep talk and let's have 36 minutes of possession. I used to work on those talk shows. We need to have 36 minutes of possession. Well, Wade Phillips, they're going to blitz. They're going to play an 8-man front, make it almost impossible to run the ball. So the best way to win this game is to do something when you have the ball. We're going to have to score. Obviously, when we get our chances to run it, we're going to have to deal with some loaded boxes and some talented Ram defenders, and I can't wait to see how we do it.
There's been a lot of change at cornerback here over the last several years, like two new guys almost every other year. How good do you feel about your two guys now, Melvin and Conley?
A lot of change around here every year, isn't there? The only thing that's still here is you, Jerry. I mean, really. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see. We played the Rams week 2 of the preseason. You would think we'd know about them. They'd know about us. But all of our starters on both teams were wearing sweatsuits. We got a lot of respect for where we are, how hard we've worked. I can't wait to see Conley play. It's the first time he's played football in a long time. And I'm excited to see Melvin. I'm excited to see Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. He's only been here for a short period of time. Can't wait to see Leon Hall in his first game as a Raider. But we'll see. I'm not going to make any predictions.
The Rams have a pretty good slot receiver there, young guy, number 18. What have you seen from Connor just as you prepare for this?
Talking about Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, sorry.
Yeah, well, Greg Olson coached him in L.A. last year, and just about every route that we put in, the Rams run, and he always brings up Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp could run that route. You're starting to bother me, Greg. Kupp's a good player. Kupp's a really good player. Not many people know about him. He's overshadowed by some of the stars in L.A., but this guy can do damage as a slot receiver, as a blocker. He is a great conditioned young receiver that is polished when it comes to running all kind of routes.
Leon Hall, I believe, has been your guys' nickel for run of this. I'm not going to ask for what your lineup looks like, but in terms of his readiness to take on that matchup, if indeed that's what it is?
We do a lot of things. We don't just play man-to-man and say, hey, go match up on him every play. Leon Hall's here to blitz, to tackle, to be a formidable, physical, inside defender in our sub-package. And that's what he's been. That's what he's always been. He's also here to show Nick Nelson what it's supposed to look like.
Brought in the veteran linebackers. What have been your impressions so far from those guys?
Ours?
Yeah, your guys, yeah.
Well, Whitehead's been outstanding. Everything we've asked Whitehead to do, he's done at a high level. That's another position we've had no continuity at. We had to replace all them as well. So Whitehead's been good. Derek's come in and been a great leader. And the emergence of Markel Lee has been the story here, I think. We knew what Whitehead was, but so far I think the guy that's really emerged and steadily improved is Markel Lee. And Nick Morrow can play. Emmanuel Lemieux knows the system. And we got a really good linebacker coach in Lippincott.
Any chance of the Raiders playing in Vegas in 2019?
Any chance of what?
The Raiders playing in Vegas in 2019?
I don't know. I just hear a lot of rumors. I try not to listen too much to what's out there. I don't know what's true and what's not, but we're playing here Monday night. That's all I know.
For you, and I've heard you talked about this before, you're trying to win your first game in 10 years. For it to be against McVay, I know it's going to be special no matter what, but does that add a little something to have that guy who's...
I don't really care who we play. It's we've always learned a long time ago the other team are faceless objects. You have to look at it that way. They can beat you up really bad in pro football, no matter who you play. So having the utmost respect for the Rams. Obviously, when the game's over, it'll be great to see Sean. But, you got to treat every game as its own, and we want to win just because it's time to play.
How ready are you for this season to finally start?
I'm ready. We've been preparing. We have a lot of good plays drawn up, and I'm just excited. Kind of, I don't want to say anxious, but I'm kind of anxious because it's Monday Night Football. So, yeah, really excited.
It's a long wait in terms of all of Sunday's games, Monday, the late game of the doubleheader. How do you just keep that excitement from making sure it's under control?
It'll be tough. A lot of games out there, but just continue to prepare, to get ready, not focus on all the outside stuff, and I think that'll do the trick.
Amari, sorry, go ahead.
How do you think that Seth has done over the course of this preseason? He was banged up in the middle, and so how has he done? And do you think you guys are really going to count on him?
Yeah, we are. He's a starter for us. He's our starting F receiver. When you see him out there in practice, he's always making plays. So he's definitely one that we can depend on.
You've obviously faced Talib and Peters, on separate teams. What do you think of them playing on the same team now?
Man, those guys are good players, man. Ball hawks, really smart players. So it's going to be a challenge for us, definitely. So I'm excited about it.
Amari, not only are you going up against that defense, but the Rams offense put up in those points per game last year, so they can score a lot. This offense they have to score a lot. What is the key to sustaining drives and just getting those points and finishing drives?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So the year before last, they put up the least amount of points, and then last year they put up the most. So it's been a huge shift for them. And you never know. We might have to go out there. It might be a shootout. We might have to go out there and score, every possession. So you never know.
How strange or how nice, Amari, is it for AJ to be here now, your college quarterback, to be in this locker room?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It seems like things come full circle, and it's been cool having him around. and I wish the best for him.
Is it tough for him to pick up this offense, knowing it's John Gruden's offense and it's notoriously tough, or is he just a quick learner?
Nah, he's always been a quick learner. He's always known, ever since I've known him, he's always known the offense in and out, so I don't think it'll be tough at all.
Amari, you guys as an offense just had a lot to pick up this offseason, just learning a new thing. Now going into the opener, do you feel like you're prepared? I mean, there's been a lot of movement also in the receiver group. Do you feel like as an offense you guys are prepared for this opener?
Yeah, I think that we're very prepared. Usually around this time you have the whole offense in and you just kind of, repeating things in meetings, but we're still adding stuff, so we have to stay on high alert and make sure we memorize all these plays.
How focused are you just individually and kind of starting the season fast and getting off to that quick, productive start?
Yeah, I mean, that's not really a focal point for me because, you never really know what to expect out there. I'm just, trying to focus on my fundamentals and trying to be consistent out there.
There are a lot of veterans in this locker room. It seems like every position group has one, multiple. What has, you're a bit of a veteran yourself in this league, but having Jordy, his experience added to that room, what has that done for you?
It's done just that. It's added experience to the room. Jordy, he's a bit like me. He doesn't really talk much, but when he does talk, it's always something very important. So I always, my ears always perk up when he has something to say in the meeting rooms.
Which one-on-one extension has there just interaction been between you guys on like certain route techniques and other things about just kind of the nitty-gritty?
Yeah, so he's always trying to give advice about some of the things that they did in Green Bay. Obviously, they were really explosive on the offensive side of the ball. So, like I said, every time he talks, I listen, and it always makes sense when he talks. And I'm always listening. I'm always adjusting to the things that he tells me because I know it's something good.
How long did it take Amari for the shock to wear off with Khalil not being here?
Man, it was kind of shocking, but I don't know, man. You just got to move on. He's not coming back, not this year. So we had to adjust to it, and we have a game to play Monday night. So just got to be ready.
Is that the key then? Just knowing that you have a game and you can't really dwell on it too much?
Yeah, we don't really have much time to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? We're always here studying and trying to prepare for Monday night. So.
I know you've always been you want to prove every aspect of your game in an off season. Is there anything just being around the guys that have been here this off season that you think you've really been able to make a positive stride in?
I don't understand.
Any aspect of your game that you think it's really grown in particular this off season? Focusing more on the small things. I'm looking the ball all the way through, high pointing the ball.
And our friend.
More complex than most. How tough has it been to digest what he's got going on here?
Man, it's a lot going on right now. Like you said, offense is pretty much the terminology seems the same. A lot of the same concepts. Right now, for me, it's just deleting everything from Cincinnati out of my head and trying to refresh things with everything I'm learning now. But the kind of good thing about it, I was with Ken Zampese, and he was on the Olsen a few years, so a lot of the terminology is somewhat the same, so I kind of grasp some of the same concepts so far, but it's a lot right now.
John specifically mentioned your versatility, and he wants every receiver to know every receiver position. He wants the backs to know every receiver position. Does that make the challenge even more, a bigger hurdle, or is that something you've always done?
No, it doesn't make it a bigger hurdle for me because that's something I always did. I played quarterback all the way till I got to college, so learning the whole playbook is something I'm used to doing, and I always felt like the more spots I knew, the faster I can play and more time I can stay on the field, because a lot of guys are going to get tired and need to check out, check in here and there, so the more spots I know, I don't have to leave out the game. I can just slide from outside to inside, so learning the whole offense right now, that's pretty much what I'm trying to do right now.
Well, it's kind of a crazy week for you to learn all that, right? I guess going up against
it is crazy right now, and luckily my receiver coach, Coach EB, he just told me, hey, for the first couple of days, just learn the X. So I'll be the outside receiver rotating with Jordy whenever he gets tired. So hopefully this first 2 weeks I can stay at X and just focus on learning that X spot right now, and as the season go on, start to move me around.
What are your first impressions of just working with Derek?
Man, I haven't got a chance to yet. Today will be my first chance because I came to practice a little late on Monday, and I pretty much did just show team and just sit back and watch. So today will be my first day.
We go out there and we, play some football. That's about it.
Right. How'd the locker room react when John said he came in and kind of explained it to you guys? What was the mood?
We just went with it, and we just took it as that. At the end of the day, we just gonna roll with what we have and go out there and make it happen.
Guys got the reps because he wasn't here. Is that the one bright side? The guys are kind of ready to jump in, at least in terms of the rep standpoint?
That's all we can do is roll what you got. You suffer injuries, and all types of stuff throughout the season, and that's the nature of the game. The most you can do is just play with the guys that's available.
Where do you feel the linebacking core is at in terms of where you need to be before the season opener?
I feel great about our linebackers. We have a good mix of both vet guys, young guys, and we've been pushing each other throughout OTAs, training camp, and making sure that we're all on the same page. And I feel really good about it. Go out there and make some stuff happen.
Looking at the Rams offense, what jumps out to you most about their attack?
They're quick. They're explosive. Obviously with 30 in the backfield, he can make anything. He makes them go. So anything can happen when he's on the field, and they have some good receivers that can stretch us on defense. But at the end of the day, we just gotta go out there, play our roles and play solid defense.
To have your first game with a new team, be a Monday Night Football at home at night, obviously can't be a better start for you, I imagine, in terms of the excitement and coming getting fired up.
You're damn straight. I'm excited about it. Monday Night Football against a good football team, and I'm just ready to go out there and let it loose. I can't wait to really hear that stadium rocking on Monday night. I got a little glimpse throughout the preseason, but I can't wait to hear the stadium rocking on Monday.
Portion, and then you got the actual football portion. So I try not to kind of get myself in too much of everybody else's business, But while we in the locker room and we around each other, it's all love. So I don't kind of invade his privacy when it comes to his business. I kind of focus on my own.
Were you surprised when you actually heard the news that he'd been traded?
Yeah, it was a surprise, but he got what he deserved, and I just wish the best for him. That's my guy.
When you make the team, what's the first call you made? Who do you call first when you find good news?
My mom's, just my family, all my family. Just gave them a call and just give them the good news. Just to hear them happy was enough to make me happy.
What's that feeling like on Saturday when you're just staring at 1 p.m. and just waiting for it to come?
I don't know. I just try to focus as much as possible, take in as much as I can take in going into the game. That way the game is easy and it's no thinking,
You guys were working all throughout off-season training camp without him. It seemed like this feeling that, eventually you would be able to plug Khalil in and go. Now that you know that he's not going to be here, what's the sense on the defensive line just in terms of what you guys have to do to kind of pick up what's not going to be there and generate sort of a pass rush, especially without him?
We don't focus on what's not going to be there. We just go out every day and just grind. Whoever's out there, it don't matter who's out there. There's no drop off. Whether you consider a third team guy, second team guy, there's no drop off. The standard is the standard. So we hold ourselves to our own standards. So,
is this something you guys can embrace as a D line? Just yes, everyone knows. Khalil Mack, he's not coming back. Khalil's gone. He's on a different team now. But showing that a pass rush can still be there, the culture that he helped build is still there, and that you guys have been working, not just watching while he's been here.
Yeah, we've been working since day one, getting it in. I feel like the coaches got enough confidence in us, and that's enough to give me confidence alone. Just that, besides what you're already working for, whatever your purpose is or whatever you do, what you do, whether you're a reporter or whatever it is, I just try not to let anything on the outside take away from that,
Do
do you think it's been helpful that you've had the full off-season program and training camp to work with this group and establish roles and chemistry with the guys next to you, things like that?
Yeah, I feel like our chemistry is at an all-time high right now, and I just feel like we can make a lot of big plays in the future. So I just try to lock in and just stay focused and focus on my part to this defense and just bring as much as I can as a person, one person on this team. Just bring as much juice, fire as I can to this team. You know, that's kind of my thing. That's what I like to do. So it's kind of natural to me.
Right here, but now everybody moved on. We know the reason why. Yeah, we just got to move on.
It's hard to replace a star player like that, but you know you're going to have some big shoes to fill in.
Yeah.
You up for the challenge?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was hard. I wish I could have been able to play with him, at least spend OTAs or something with him, but I couldn't. But you know, we got guys like Bruce Irvin, Foster Rucker, guys who played 9+ in the league already, so they got a lot of knowledge to the game.
How shocked were you that it actually happened? You know, you're expecting as the summer's going on, a deal will get done.
Yeah, it was very shocking. I thought the deal was going to get done, but hey, some higher than me.
Arden, you've been starting out behind Bruce, but lately they've been flipping you over on the other side of Khalil's spot. How comfortable are you over there now?
I'm more comfortable now than I was at first. I try to rush both sides evenly throughout practice, so we're still working on that.
You're still going back and forth?
Yeah.
It seemed like there was an expectation, I guess, throughout off-season camp that at some point you guys would have quarterback. Now that you know you won't, as a pass rush specifically, what do you feel like you guys are still capable of generating?
Yeah, definitely. We got. I feel like all our DNs can rush the passer, as you can see in the preseason, things of that sort. And we got Bruce Irvin and Frosty Ruckers who been there before, who can help us younger guys to get more sacks, pressures, or whatnot. But other than that, I mean, we got a well-rounded D-line that I believe everybody is capable of having sacks.
Arden, you don't need to do this alone in terms of getting after the quarterback this season. You have Bruce, you have a bunch of other rookies with you, and a whole veteran cast. That being said, when Khalil's gone, did it all you feel like, okay, I got to make sure that I'm coming this season?
Yeah, it's an opportunity for me and for all the rest of the guys on the D-line. I mean, that's just another opportunity. Khalil Mack gone. We can't dwell on it. We got to move forward, and somebody got to step up in his spot.
Had you thought about for a while what you'd say to him if you had a chance to meet him?
No, I actually met him before. We actually had a talk before. But you know, we was just talk about football and life. Yeah.
Where did you guys meet? Where was that?
Huh?
Where did you guys?
In Atlanta.
Were you training?
Yeah.
Before the draft, or?
When I was getting recruited from his agent.
You found out and sent that tweet out?
I had just woken up a little bit before that. It's one of my few days I ever get to sleep in, and woke up to the news. I had been talking to Khalil the night before when I woke up. Obviously, I texted him during all that. Talked to him afterwards. Talked to him yesterday. I've been talking to him. So, that's where I was. I was at my house and was about to eat breakfast.
Did you have any, over these last couple weeks, months, 8 months, did you ever think that he would get traded?
No, never. I don't think, completely honest, I don't think anybody did. Top down here, hey friends. I don't think anybody did. It's not what anybody wanted. I think that's clear. But it is what it is. It's part of the business. It's one of those sucky things that happen. The hardest part for me is obviously, you lose a good football player, but he's my brother, man. That's one of my best friends. So I think that's the hardest part is I just don't get to see my friend every day. But besides that, I'm sure we'll see each other in the offseason.
Derek, the shock worn off at all yet, Derek, or has it too soon for the locker room to really kind of digest it?
It has, because we're back to work. I think that has helped. Obviously, we had the day off that day, and so that made it harder. Because I'm sitting there just thinking about it all day. Whereas now, I got a job to do. Once we showed up and got to work, coach addressed it with the team. Said what he said. Invited anyone who needed to talk to him. Open door. He understood that a lot of us were close with him. He said, and so he was very open. Just told us everything. All those kind of things, and But once we kind of got back to work, it didn't go away because he's your buddy, but at the same time it went away because we have a game to get ready for.
You guys have talked so much over the years about that you guys were going to kind of usher in a new era of Raiders football together.
Yeah.
And now without your partner in doing that, does that make it more difficult? Like, what is that, change in that dynamic?
It's weird because, we planned everything, when we first came in, we planned the next 10 to 15 years of our life, sitting there at the same lockers. I think that's the weirdest part, is that it's a little bit of a different chapter now. We both have kind of the same goals. I just don't want him to win the Super Bowl, and all those kind of things. But, I felt like when we showed up here, we wanted to change a culture and show people what it meant to work, and I think that we did that. I feel good about that. I feel like we did change the dynamic of how things are done. From the people in the locker room, I believe that 100% that we changed that. So it makes it feel a little bit better knowing that we accomplished that together. Because that was what we wanted. We wanted to show people. We wanted to make this a place where free agents wanted to come. I think we did that. We got people to show up. And obviously it wasn't just us two. It takes everybody, but our whole class. But it was just one of those things that we won't be able to win a ring together. I think that's the only thing left on our list that won't happen. But I wish him the best besides when he plays us.
Eric, what do you think about the sort of the economic reality of this sport that, and John Gruden sort of confirmed it yesterday that they couldn't accommodate both of you guys?
I think that's what makes it hard. Because we all knew me, Gabe, Khalil, Jelly. We all saw it coming. We just, it's one of those things that you just hope it can work out, and we all did our best. I'll say it that way. We all did our best to make sure it could, and it just didn't work out that way. And honestly, it hurts, because we tried, we were always open. I was open with Khalil, Gabe was open with us, and Khalil, we were always talking open about everything we were doing because we had plans together, so I think it just makes it tough.
Where's your concern with the locker room? And you said coach addressed it.
Yeah.
And you do have to move on, but is there any concern? Have you talked to other players in the locker room? What's the vibe like in there?
I talked to a lot of players immediately. After it happened, I've talked to a lot of guys the next day here at the facility, all those things. And honestly, I don't have any concerns now. Obviously, when it first happened, I'm like, hold on, I'm going to have to, talk to some guys and, things like that. And to be completely honest, I had a lot of guys reach out to me before I even had to reach out to some guys and say, hey, we're good, man. It's one of those situations. It sucks. We lost our friend. We lost our brother. But, we have games to win. We got a job to do. And I think that's the mark of, Mr. McKenzie and Coach Gruden bringing in the right kind of people. When things like this happen, when decisions are made and that kind of thing, we have guys in our locker room that know how to handle it as men. We don't have to, like or agree with everything. We don't get paid for that. We get paid to come in here, come together as a team, and win together. And so it's hard because we lost him, but I can promise you we're going to be ready to play.
They're facing a secondary week one that's obviously going to have some challenges, but two of those guys you've faced several times before. What's your preparation been like?
Oh, man, going back in my notes a lot, I've played Akeem, I've played Marcus, talked to them both. They know how I feel about them. I think they're two of the best corners in the NFL. I think Sue, I talked to him, obviously. Aaron, we came out at the same time. I've talked to these guys. They're all great players. They got a great team, great defense, great challenge they present to us. And then Coach Phillips, calling it. I've gone against him a number of times. And, he does his stuff, man, and he's really good at it. And, it's going to be a good challenge for us. But, I can sit here and talk good things about all those guys. They know how I feel about them. They're great players.
You guys cut two quarterbacks that knew your offense, brought in one that has about a week to learn it.
Yep. How
much are you taking it upon yourself to, if it's even possible, to get AJ up to speed fully before Monday?
Well, I'm here to answer questions. I'm here to help him, that's for sure. I love AJ. We came out at the same time. We spent time together on, draft visits and at the combine and all those kind of things, right? And, we've always kind of kept in touch a little bit since then. And so when he came, he's a good friend. And so I'm here to answer and help. But I think, that's the coach's responsibility to get him caught up, because, there's so much demanded on me to make sure I'm running the offense and doing what Coach Gruden needs. But at the same time, I am 100% open to whatever AJ needs to help him He's here to, compete with me every single day. That's what we did with Connor and EJ. We compete every day. Beat me in the drill. Throw a better pass to me. Do the feet better. All those kind of things. And we'll do all those things. But at the same time, if he has any questions, any help, if he doesn't know where to go for lunch, that's what I'm here for.
With Eric as the quarterback and the guy that got the contract extended 2 years ago, I mean, the responsibility was huge on your shoulders anyway, because that's just the way the NFL is. But does it feel almost even more so now that Khalil is not here?
No, honestly, forever, since day one, I'm so focused, and it sounds funny, but I mean, since day one, I'm so focused on, there's so much at the quarterback spot to do, right? Not just out on the field, but in the locker room, with the coaches, the extra meetings, putting plans together, making cut-ups so guys who are watching, just there's so much to do that I really have never felt the pressure of, playing alongside of him. Sometimes you hear guys say, do you feel pressure playing alongside great players? He's one of the best. He'll be one of the best to ever do it. There was never any pressure, because just being a quarterback, there's so much to handle that alone is enough, Now, with him gone, if you stand back and look at it like, well, oh man, what do you have to do now? I still have to do my job, so I don't feel any different, but I understand what you're saying.
With that in mind, just Khalil aside,
yep.
You're taking over another new offense.
Yeah.
You got more than half of your team has turned over.
Yep.
They're asking you to do different things that you haven't done as much before in terms of more under center, get out in the move a little more, and subtle things, but things they want you to do.
That's right.
And limited time to do it. Do you feel ready? I mean, it's coming Monday night.
Oh yeah, 100% ready. Like I said, I've said this from the beginning. I knew when Coach Gruden came in, the demand. I knew the differences that there was going to be. Obviously, you see our team changing. As the quarterback, you sit there on your couch and, it keeps popping up on your phone, who's coming, who's going, all those kind of things. And you sit there and everything's against you. Everything is saying it's going to be hard. Everything is saying you can't do it, all those things. And I think it makes me even more determined and motivated. I think from the beginning, I just sat there and was like, no, when we go out there, man, I want to look like Coach Gruden and I have been together for 10 years. That was my goal. And hopefully, obviously there's going to be bumps because we're new at this, but hopefully not too many, because I do feel 1,000% ready to play a game. The way that the coaches teach, the way they install, the way we walk through, the way we practice, if you could ask any of our players, if they don't feel ready to play since April, the guys that have been here, then there's something to worry about, because the way we do things, guys should be ready to play.
As you might imagine, the Bears having just acquired Khalil, one of the best players in the league, their expectations for this season naturally go up. It's higher now because of what he brings. How do you keep the presentation or the expectations here, having lost Khalil? I know he's been here this offseason, knowing he's not coming back. How do you keep expectations from being any lower inside this building?
I think it started back in April, when he wasn't here. And I think any coach, no matter what, says, hey, we're going to coach the guys that are here. And so the mindset was we were doing all this work with the guys that were here, just saying, all right, we got a job to do. We have goals and plans and things we want to do, and we're going to go forward with that. And so obviously when he got traded, there was a punch to the stomach because he's your friend. But all the work that we've put in and all the time, the reps that guys have gotten, you sit there and think, well, man, we've put the work in. So, let's go. It's time to play. So, my expectation never changes. I don't care, if I'm out there, with my two sons, 5 and 2 years old, playing receiver. I expect us to be excellent. I expect them to know what to do, and I expect us to do it. And thankfully, we have a really talented group and team of not only players but coaches as well. So it's going to be good.
You only got 4 seasons with Khalil together, but do you expect this to be a lifetime relationship that, come next year, and I'm not even aware, but the Bears are on the schedule, just being friendly and just something that will continue throughout your playing careers and beyond?
Oh, absolutely. We said things to each other in text, just this past couple of days that I can promise you it's a lifelong thing. We're here for each other no matter what. I'm still going to dunk on him when he comes back to my house in the off season, so he can expect that. But no, there's no ill will. I look forward to someday, that day when we play each other. That'll probably be one of the most fun times for me. And you think I'm crazy for saying that, but it'll be fun.